I was hanging around with the Bulldogs a lot in those days with Dynamite and Davy Boy. So those guys. They were. It was those are good times.
I won't ask what else you were doing apart from hitting the gym. I mean, a lot of partying at least.
Those guys were wild. They got they picked up from Fuji. They got Fuji was the grand poobah for playing ribs and cutting guys' hair and shaving eyebrows and stuff like that. So the Davy Boy and Dynamite got right into that. They're classics as well.
Was Dynamite? Did Dynamite get like a bit meaner towards the end? Because I've heard stories that maybe the pranks and everything were getting a bit more salty and rough than maybe at the beginning of their tenure in the WWF.
I don't know if they're meaner. He was always. Oh, they were always. I guess there's a lot of stories up in what they used to do up in Calgary to the guys up in Calgary there. So I think it was pretty tame. Their run with their running with the Rushos. I don't know. I didn't. I kind of one night he came in and challenged them if they wanted to, and once they didn't want to, and then they got him a week or so later. So. But yeah, they were always, they'd fight a guy, Outback Jack. He, uh,
I've
he
already
liked
written
to,
him
they
down.
liked
That's exactly what
to,
I was going to ask.
they were always cutting his pants and cutting the legs off his pants and cutting his clothes up and doing all kinds of stuff. He was a good guy. He was an Aussie and he always going. I remember Iron Sheik and I were in San Francisco. The Iron Sheik and I are going out. There's a Mexican restaurant that stayed open a little later, and we could have made it. So we're coming back through the lobby. We're staying in the Holiday Inn, and he and Fuji were down in the lobby, the bar area, the cocktail area. We stopped and talking to them. Have a beer. And we were sitting with Fuji. And he goes, "Wow, you Yankee blokes, you don't drink like us Australian fellas." So, oh boy, here it goes. So that's all right. Brother, you got the H bomb, the halcyon. So they got so we took off, went and ate a nice dinner at one of the Mexican chain places right up the road from the Holiday Inn. Then coming back in a taxi, we looked at the Holiday Inn. It's surrounded with blue lights. The police lights going off. So, oh my God, what'd Fuji do? Just so he got back there, the cops and everybody standing around, and he had some way. I guess a couple of sleeping pills had found their way into Outback Jack's beer, and shots and beer and pills and more beer and more beer and more shots. I guess he went back to his room, and he went back to his room. He took his clothes off, went to sleep. For some reason, he got up and started to walk. Decided to walk the hotel looking for a hamburger or something. And he was walking around the hotel completely oblivious, in a trance, but completely oblivious. Stay with, what are you doing? Don't fool with me. He didn't even just saw you just walking around the hotel completely nude, without a stitch of clothes on. But finally, kind of ushered him back, kind of around like ushering a cow to his pen, kind of got him back into his room and shut the door. And oh, Mr. Fuji.
Were you there when I've heard the story? I think from Greg Valentine, where they glued Outback Jack's hat to his head on a flight.
No, no.
Oh, well, I think I might have given away the punchline to it then, so I won't go. I won't go into that anymore.